a urologist with over a decade of experience helping men over 50 create deeper intimacy and stronger connections with their partners. Today, I'm revealing what women have been trying to tell you for years, but most men never understand. The single most important pleasure spot on the female body. And it's not what you think. A groundbreaking study surveyed 451 sexually active women and asked them to map their most pleasurable erogenous zones. The results were shocking. While 59% selected areas inside the vagina as pleasure zones, a massive 82% selected areas on the vulva as their most important erogenous zones. And the number one spot? It's not the G-spot. It's not deep penetration. It's something most men rush past without a second thought. Before we dive in, hit that like button right now, comment below where you're watching from, and subscribe so you never miss expert guidance for men over 50 who want to master intimacy. Now, let me reveal what she's been wishing you knew. The number one spot women wish you'd focus on is the clitoris, but not the way you think. Most men believe they already know about the clitoris. You've heard about it. Maybe you've tried stimulating it. But here's what the research shows. Most men fundamentally misunderstand what the clitoris actually is and how to stimulate it properly. The clitoris has between 8,000 and 10,000 nerve endings concentrated in a tiny area. That's more than double the nerve endings in the entire penis. It's the only organ in the human body that exists purely for pleasure, with no other biological function. But here's the critical part most men miss. What you see externally, that small nub at the top of the vulva, is only 10% to 15% of the actual clitoris. The rest extends internally, with structures called the clitoral legs that run several inches deep alongside the vaginal canal. This means the clitoris isn't just a button to press. It's a complex network of erectile tissue that surrounds and connects to almost every pleasurable area in her pelvic region. In that study of 451 women, the clitoris was rated as the most frequently selected and highest-rated pleasure zone. Not the G-spot, not the vaginal canal, the clitoris. One patient, 58 years old, came to me frustrated. His wife rarely initiated intimacy and seemed uninterested. After discussing this research and teaching him proper clitoral stimulation techniques, everything changed. Within weeks, she was initiating regularly. Their emotional connection deepened, and both reported the most satisfying, intimate life they'd had in decades. The clitoris is the key, but most men are using it completely wrong. If this surprises you, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Mistake number 1, going straight for direct stimulation. Here's the biggest mistake men make: going directly to the clitoris immediately, touching it firmly right from the start. This is the equivalent of someone grabbing your testicles firmly without any warm-up. It's not pleasurable. It's uncomfortable, sometimes painful, and it kills arousal instantly. The clitoris is incredibly sensitive. When a woman isn't aroused yet, direct touch can feel irritating, even painful. Her body needs time for blood flow to increase, for the clitoral tissue to become engorged, and for natural lubrication to begin. The solution is indirect stimulation first. Start by touching everywhere around the clitoris without touching it directly. Stroke her inner thighs, touch her pubic mound, gently caress her outer and inner labia. Build anticipation. Research on erogenous zones shows that the periurethral area, the vaginal introitus, or opening, and areas surrounding the clitoris are all rated as highly important to sexual pleasure. Stimulating these areas first prepares her body for direct clitoral touch. Think of it like warming up before exercise. You wouldn't sprint at full speed without stretching first. Her body needs that gradual buildup. One woman told me her husband would immediately go for her clitoris, rubbing it like he was scratching a lottery ticket. She said, It was so uncomfortable I started avoiding intimacy completely. Once he learned to build up slowly, everything changed. Never start with direct clitoral stimulation. Build anticipation first. Comment below. Have you been making this mistake? Mistake number 2. Using the wrong pressure and technique. Most men use far too much pressure on the clitoris, thinking more pressure equals more pleasure. Wrong. The clitoris is packed with 8,000 to 10,000 nerve endings in a tiny space. It's exquisitely sensitive. Firm pressure can quickly become overwhelming and uncomfortable. The correct technique is light, consistent pressure with slow, deliberate movements. Think of the lightest touch you'd use on your own eyeball. That's the starting pressure. Use a circular motion or side-to-side motion, not aggressive rubbing. The rhythm should be steady and consistent, not erratic. Many women describe the ideal sensation as a gentle wave building gradually, not a jackhammer. Studies show that women respond better to varied stimulation patterns, starting light and building gradually in intensity based on her body's response. Here's a professional technique. Use the flat of your finger or thumb, not just the tip. This distributes pressure more evenly and feels less sharp. Keep your finger slightly lubricated, using her natural lubrication or a small amount of quality lubricant. Start with extremely light circular motions around the clitoris, not directly on it. After several minutes, once she's clearly aroused, breathing changes, hips moving, you can begin lighter direct contact. Watch her body language constantly. If she tenses up or pulls away slightly, you're using too much pressure or going too fast. If she relaxes into your touch and moves closer, you're on the right track. One patient learned this technique and told me, "My wife actually told me finally after 30 years of marriage. I had no idea I was doing it wrong this entire time." Light pressure, consistent rhythm, gradual build-up, that's the formula. Mistake number 3. Ignoring the entire clitoral network. Remember I said the visible clitoris is only 10% to 15% of the total structure? This is where that matters. Most men focus exclusively on that external nub. But the internal structures, the clitoral legs and bulbs, can be stimulated indirectly through the outer and inner labia, creating incredibly pleasurable sensations. The clitoral legs extend down on both sides of the vaginal opening. When you gently squeeze or massage the outer labia between your thumb and fingers, you're indirectly stimulating these internal structures. Research shows that the clitoral complex includes internal structures connected to the G-spot, the urethral sponge, and other deep vaginal zones. These structures communicate with each other to enhance pleasure. Try this technique. Place your thumb and forefinger on opposite sides of her outer labia, near the top where they meet. Gently squeeze and massage in a rolling motion, working your way down slowly. You're stimulating the internal clitoral structures without directly touching the external clitoris. Many women report this feels incredible because it creates a deep, full-body arousal sensation rather than the sharp, focused sensation of direct clitoral touch. One woman described it perfectly. She said, "When he finally learned to stimulate the whole area instead of just frantically rubbing one spot, my orgasms became full-body experiences. It's completely different. The clitoris is a network, not a button. Stimulate the entire system." Mistake number 4. Stopping too soon. This is absolutely critical. Many men stop clitoral stimulation the moment they start penetration. Big mistake. For most women, penetration alone doesn't provide sufficient clitoral stimulation for orgasm. Studies consistently show that only about 18% to 25% of women can orgasm from penetration alone. That means 75% to 82% of women need clitoral stimulation during penetration to reach orgasm. If you stop touching her clitoris when you start penetrating, you've just eliminated her primary pathway to orgasm. The solution is continuation. Keep stimulating her clitoris during penetration. You can do this with your hand, she can do it with her hand, Or you can use positions that create natural clitoral friction. Positions where her pelvis tilts forward, like woman on top or standing positions, often create more clitoral contact during penetration. But even in these positions, direct manual stimulation usually enhances pleasure significantly. A survey found that women reported significantly higher satisfaction when clitoral stimulation continued throughout intercourse, not just during foreplay. One couple implemented this simple change. He continued manually stimulating her clitoris during penetration. She went from rarely having orgasms during sex to consistently having them. He told me, "I can't believe such a simple change made such a massive difference." Don't stop clitoral stimulation when penetration starts. Continue throughout. Mistake number 5. Not communicating and adjusting. The fifth and perhaps most important mistake is assuming all women respond the same way. They don't. While the clitoris is universally the most nerve-dense and pleasure-focused area, every woman's preferences for pressure, speed, rhythm, and technique are different. Some prefer circular motions, others prefer side to side or up and down. Some like very light touch throughout. Others prefer starting light and gradually increasing pressure. Some want fast, rhythmic stimulation. Others prefer slow, deliberate movements. The only way to know what she prefers is to communicate openly and pay attention to her feedback. Studies emphasize that sexual pleasure is highly individual. What works for one woman may not work for another. Communication and attentiveness are essential. Here's how to communicate effectively. Ask open-ended questions outside the bedroom. What feels best when I touch you there? Or would you prefer lighter or firmer touch? During intimacy, ask simple yes or no questions. Does this feel good? Do you want me to keep doing this? Faster or slower? Watch her body language closely. Increased breathing, moaning, hip movements toward your hand, and muscle tension building are all positive signs. Tensing up, pulling away, or going silent often means discomfort. One patient told me, "Once we started actually talking about what felt good instead of just guessing, our entire sex life transformed. It's like we'd been speaking different languages for 25 years. Communication is the ultimate technique. Let me give you the complete step-by-step protocol for mastering clitoral stimulation. Step 1. Start with full-body foreplay. Kiss her deeply, touch her neck. Caress her breasts, stroke her thighs. Build overall arousal before focusing on her genitals. This increases blood flow throughout her body and prepares her for genital touch. Step 2. Move to indirect stimulation. Touch her pubic mound, inner thighs, and outer labia. Stroke the area around her clitoris without touching it directly. Build anticipation for 5 to 10 minutes minimum. Step 3. Begin light clitoral contact. Use the flat of your finger with gentle lubrication. Start with extremely light circular or side-to-side motions. Focus on consistency and rhythm. Step 4. Gradually increase intensity. Based on her responses, gradually increase pressure and speed. Never jump suddenly to firm pressure. Let the intensity build naturally over several minutes. Step 5. Stimulate the entire clitoral network. While maintaining external stimulation, gently massage her outer and inner labia to stimulate the internal clitoral structures. This creates a fuller, deeper sensation. Step 6. Continue during penetration. If you move to penetration, keep stimulating her clitoris manually or position yourselves for natural clitoral friction. Don't stop until she's clearly satisfied. Step 7. Communicate throughout. Ask questions, watch her body language, and adjust your technique continuously based on her feedback. Follow this protocol consistently, and you'll notice dramatic improvements in her arousal, responsiveness, and satisfaction. Gentlemen, here's what you need to understand. The clitoris is the #1 pleasure spot women wish you'd focus on. It has 8,000 to 10,000 nerve endings, more than double the entire penis. It's the only organ in the human body that exists purely for pleasure. Research shows 82% of women rate vulvar areas, particularly the clitoris, as more important than internal vaginal areas. Yet most men either ignore it completely or stimulate it incorrectly. The 5 critical mistakes are going straight to direct stimulation without warming up, using too much pressure and poor technique, ignoring the entire clitoral network, stopping stimulation during penetration, and failing to communicate and adjust. The complete protocol is full-body foreplay first, indirect stimulation second, light initial clitoral contact, gradual intensity increase, stimulation of the entire network, continuation during penetration, and constant communication. Master clitoral stimulation, and you'll transform your intimate relationship. Her satisfaction will increase dramatically, her desire for intimacy will grow, and your emotional connection will deepen. Starting tonight, implement this complete protocol. Take your time, communicate openly, and prioritize her clitoral pleasure throughout your entire intimate encounter. If this video helped you, hit that like button right now. Comment below and tell me, which mistake were you making? And subscribe for more expert guidance for men over 50 who want to master intimacy. I'm Dr. Mika Hayashi. Your partner's pleasure is the key to deeper intimacy and stronger connection. Focus on the clitoris. Everything else follows.